Hey Roger, have you had or any of y'all? Because all y'all have the same box lights. Uh, have any of y'all's lights exploded?
No.
Yeah,
Well, right.
mine like popped. Like I went to
How long
switch it
was it
on.
on for?
Wasn't
Oh,
on
it
at
happened
all.
on. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I went to turn it on, and it was like, poof. I was like, "What the fuck?" And all you could smell was like, well, I guess whatever smoke or whatever coming out of it.
I've done it with light bulbs before, regular ones.
Roger also has the Elgato soft lights.
Look at Roger's face. Stupid bitch, you need to shut up. Roger's so pissed. Terry told on him.
Oh, Terry started
This
recording.
motherfucker talking shit.
They were cheap.
Cheap. So they said 200, or they were 150.
I got 200.
Oh, you got
both.
Terry start recording.
You got the air light?
You said stop recording? It's
No,
streaming.
it's the thin ones.
Or did you already
know how
start?
to describe them.
I already started it. Already going.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well.
I just kind of just let it go. Nothing crazy was being talked about yet.
All right.
I just stopped.
So I'm good to start then.
You can start whenever you decide to.
All right. That's well then. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Almost in Full Color podcast. I'm here with the Mighty Morphin podcasters. We got Gaines with us, Roger, and Terry. You all can pick your own colors at this point. I'm not picking colors for people.
Hold on. Before we continue, let's
Roger
pick these
said
colors.
He had dipped on Black Ranger, though.
Hold on. Let's see what these colors are. Go ahead, Gaines. Give us the colors.
White Ranger. If you're going to let me pick, I'm picking white.
Pick the colors for all of us. I feel like you'll be the best person for this.
Who? Oh, pick y'all's colors?
Yeah. I feel like you'll be the best person for this.
I'll be White Ranger, of course. Keith can be Black Ranger. Yeah. I give Roger blue. Roger would be Billy. Terry, you can be. You can't be Jason. That would give you too much. Too much second in command power. Let's see. What could you be? What else is left?
I don't think there's
Roger
anything
has
left.
blue. You could be the Yellow Ranger, because in Japan the Yellow Ranger is a
guy,
boy.
and it is
a guy. That's why you don't have a skirt. There's a lot of people don't know that in the American version. That's why only Pink Ranger had a skirt. Keith didn't know that. You could tell by his face. He didn't know that. Trini's outfit didn't have a skirt because it was actually a guy was the Yellow Ranger in Japan. In Super Sentai. So Terry, you can be the secret guy.
I don't know how I feel. You know what? All right. You know what? You can go ahead and get started.
Well, a lot's happened in the gaming world. So first off, Elden Ring has come out and is absolutely shattering like all types of records per se. There are 12 million units moved, which is crazy right now because normally like a game kind of sees that towards like, I guess, 8 months after its release. So, you've got the chance to mark the game down here and there. And yes, you moved the units, but it kind of didn't happen at full price for all of them, but still impressive nonetheless. This game has moved 12 million units already. And for it to be like the Souls type game, which is the more difficult, is anyone surprised at it? And for like, I guess reference, I think Sekiro sold 5 million. The highest Souls selling game was like 3 million. So like between those, which are good numbers, especially for a game that's like pretty on the difficult side. It's considered a niche crowd. It only appeals to like a certain amount of crowd. For Elden Ring to really get propelled into this like 10 plus million in less than a month of it being out, is anyone kind of shocked by that, or do you think that kind of group just breeds that type of stuff?
Honestly, I'm actually more shocked that you said that the other Souls game's top seller was 3 million. I thought they sold more than that. So I guess that would make the 12 million like really crazy. But yeah, I thought the Souls game sold pretty well. I mean, even though they're known for their difficulty, it seems like they had a pretty big crowd of people who enjoyed that, those type of games. Usually if you enjoy difficult games of that genre, you kind of go to every game that's made like that. Like you said, Sekiro. Like you would play a game like Sekiro. You would play like Souls. You would play Bloodborne. You might be somebody who played Ninja Gaiden. When it came to, I would say when it came to Xbox 360 or Xbox to Xbox 360, it was more like a Sekiro type game, a little more fast paced, but still kind of in that same vein, other than what it was on the old retro systems. But yes, I'm more shocked that the old ones only sold 3 million at best.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the amount of time played because I'm wondering if it was just the whole Elden Ring and that a whole group of people buying the game and then wondering if they're like, wow, this game's actually difficult and stopped playing or returned it or like that. I mean, obviously they sold 12 million, so they don't really care what you do afterwards, really. But I know I've seen a lot of streamers that don't even play the Dark Soul games, play the Elden Ring and stuff like that. So I think it might be just that whole name brand behind it helped pushed it. But like I said, I'm curious of the other numbers of are people actually playing it? Did they just buy it because it was Elden Ring?
I think it's more so just people wanted to give something a try. The game has been talked about for years. Well, not necessarily Elden Ring, but it's new. Why not give it a shot? Let's see how. No, I am curious. Still has the game, not whether they've gotten rid of it or just decided this is too hard and I'm not playing this game. As far as the numbers go, I think it's more so everybody kind of was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. Let's see what's up. And whether they're still playing. For that love punishment, I guess.
Yeah, I am shocked as well. And although very shocked, it kind of comes with this next phase of let's give it a TV show. So now a TV show is in the works for Elden Ring, which kind of
wow.
segues us
Before you
right
say
into
that,
our
Keith,
next point.
before you say that, speaking of things getting TV shows, do you know that the whole phenomenon on internet that is called "Is It Cake"? They have a TV show. I know this has
No.
nothing to do with games, but I just
Why did
it's a
people
whole
do that?
it's the whole game. It's like a Master Chef, like Iron Chef, like in those veins, but it's a bunch of bakers, and
Mhm.
you have to pick, is it cake?
Oh, yeah,
I
I know
know
what you're
this
talking
was
about
that
now.
super
Yeah, that
craze
doesn't
that
shock me
happened.
at all.
It's just, I mean, it's just nuts that it became a whole show. But continue, Keith, continue.
Ain't just gonna make us a realistic cake. That's all I got from that.
Yeah.
What if I was cake
Uh,
right now?
Nothing to say about this. Continue, Keith.
I just saw that going terribly wrong. I was
Keith
like,
is
what's
at,
up with the cut games?
it
And
was
then he's
weird
like,
because
oh,
Keith was
you would
laughing, but
cut
his
me?
mic wasn't picking up any sound, so he was just like,
Nothing was being said at all.
So, George R. Martin, a big part of Elden Ring, one of the kind of biggest notes that came from it, wrote for Elden Ring. He wrote a lot of the lore and a lot of the story points for it. They said they gave him kind of what they had in mind, and he kind of created off of that. Some writers in the gaming industry felt that they shouldn't have brought George R. Martin in. They should have gave someone in the industry a shot at this, which kind of then people started to go back and forth with. Should they have picked someone who was already in the industry, or no? It was okay that they went and got George R. Martin. Does anyone feel like, I guess, the writers who are in the industry should feel entitled to get these opportunities on these big games or not?
Me personally, no. I mean, if you're putting in the money to create this game, whoever you feel like is going to breathe the best life into the lore or to the story of the game is who you should try to get. I mean, obviously, if you can afford them, I'm sure George R. Martin probably was not that cheap, unless maybe he was just really interested in the game as well. Maybe cut him a break or whatever. So, but other than that, I mean, I don't feel like you should be forced to be like, oh, I really think George would do the best job. But since he's not really in the gaming atmosphere of writing, let's just give it to someone who who's wrote, stories for games before, just to say we gave it to someone, I guess, in the gaming ecosystem or community, however you want to say it, just seems odd. And then what if that guy doesn't do a good job? you could be somebody who's wrote really good stories for other games, and this one just doesn't get received well. And then you get trashed on for your story, or people say it's like kind of, got plot holes, or it just didn't really gel, for them. And you're like, damn, I really feel like we should have went with George, but we didn't want the backlash. It's a very odd backlash of like, it's like it's a weird like trying to give opportunities but also take opportunity, if that makes sense. It's like George R. Martin is not known for writing for games, so you're trying to give opportunity by blocking him out of ever having the opportunity to write for a game just because he's never wrote for a game or isn't known, I guess, for writing game script. It's just a very odd like thing. Is like you want to give other people opportunities by not giving other people opportunities. So
Sounds like whoever decided that was a terrible idea. Or they probably suck. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, why would you care to, I guess, essentially
they
gatekeep
probably
them?
wanted it more so to go to somebody that was not as known, like a more like maybe an up and coming gaming writer or something, and try to get him, I guess, on the big stage, so to speak, for a big time game. I That's what I assume. Normally, that's usually how it works. They're like, oh, well, he's already known and established. You should have let like a up and comer or maybe a lesser known guy like get a crack at a big time game, so he would get that publicity or get that recognition that he really deserves. So
Yes, it's still just one of those weird things. Like, let him do what he wants. Head out and see what happens. Like, I'm pretty sure with a game like this, you don't want somebody new and up and coming. You would like at least want somebody veteran. I mean, this is a pretty big game for as far as like much as people have been talking about it. I think you would want somebody that's just new coming into the space to be like, yeah, we're gonna have him write our entire script for this. Don't know who he is, but good luck. Like, that budget was probably way too big to be like, all right, we're gonna have somebody new. At least have somebody that knows how to write, and probably not necessarily video game like scripts, but they probably did have like people underneath them be like, yo, for a video game, this is kind of nice, but for a book, probably don't want this in this.
yeah, I mean, it kind of was in the same setting as like I'm about to say Lord of the Rings. Why can I Game of Thrones? It kind of had like that vibe to, not really, I guess, that vibe, but it kind of set in that time with dragons and all that type of stuff in the game. So probably just immediately thought like, I want him to write this. So
I would say that makes sense too. You would want somebody that's done like lore like this before. Like, granted, he probably did have new writers underneath him being like, "Yo, try to help me stay on board." I'm pretty sure they got some credit somewhere, but
and his name alone
cares?
will make the game even crazier.
That's
You know what I
it.
mean? Like you got a big time writer writing your story. Like that's
That was
going
the
to be a
promotion.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like George R. Martin is writing the story for this game. It's like, oh crap! Like he wrote Game of Thrones. He didn't do season 8 though. He didn't do the last season, but he did. He did the books though.
That doesn't exist. We don't even know what you're talking about
Yeah.
at this moment.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's just the nature of blending the interactive entertainment. Like for years, they've been trying to make video games into something. Like we had the first like gen of movies come out, which I was thinking like Tomb Raider, Doom, and all, and that was various results everywhere.
Mm.
Where now like League of
Tomb Raider
Legends,
only worked because of Laura Croft.
yeah. But now you have like League of Legends, The Witcher. Like they found a nice blend, and you're starting to see that in games.
I mean, Angelina Jolie. Why did y'all let me say that and let it
We
just
let
go
it go.
forward?
I was just
Like
gonna
Laura
let you
Croft was a
continue.
real person. I was just like, what did I just say? And they just let that slide on the internet for to live in all eternity.
In your world
Y'all are
games,
horrible friends.
maybe Laura Croft is we're not gonna take that
Y'all
away
are
from you.
horrible friends.
We all putting that cheat code. But continue, Roger.
Whoa.
But
What would you do
yeah,
without
so like
something?
now games. I mean the
Keith and his fetish for rectangles.
Let me go ahead and put a Tifa thing right above Tifa. Continue, Roger.
But yeah,
money.
it's like games are starting to do the video stuff now. Like, I mean, Metal Gear Solid for a while, it's always had the like 2 hour cutscenes with almost production teams to lay out all the CGI. So it's just starting to blend more. So I think it's more just new means of entertainment. It's like interactive movies or people are looking at, which I am curious if Elden Ring has a easier difficulty or something. Are they going to plan on adding one later? I could
I
actually see that.
So
They said it's supposed to be I think it's like a sliding scale kinda thing. 'Cause I think they
Okay.
said it will actually get like, more difficult if you are playing really well. I think that it's not like one you
yeah,
can pick, but I think it's, like, kinda built into it where if you're like, I guess if game feels like you're doing really well, like, you're probably a veteran in that, genre. Like, if you play Souls games and stuff, maybe it kinda scales it up some more. I don't
I
know
know
how big that
games.
scale is, though. Like, they could just kinda be saying that, and it doesn't really tweak it all that much.
But you've been seeing the difficulty. I know a lot of newer games have story difficulty now. Like it's not even like easy. It's like more like
Yeah,
you just want to go through the story. So that's
yeah.
showing like people are actually starting to play for storylines more now and stuff like that. So I
Didn't
think
Ratchet& and Clank have that, Keith?
yeah.
It had, like, a really easy difficulty
Very.
where
I think it was
I
called.
think you couldn't die. I think you had unlimited
Yeah,
health and unlimited ammo and stuff like that. Like, it was really weird, but, I mean, I guess if you just
I thought it was for
I
kids, so that's why I chalked
maybe
it up
so,
to.
yeah.
It's like, it's
Because
probably
the
for
other
kids.
games that have done that are more kid type games like, Super Mario, 3D World or whatever. I know that has one where you, like, can't die. They give you, like, it's like a cat suit, but it's like a star built into a cat suit, so you can, like,
Mm,
fly and not die. Yoshi's Crafted World was the same way. You had, like, wings the whole time, so you just flew through each stage, and you couldn't die,
hmm.
so
But yeah, I thought it was interesting. On one hand, you kind of want to put back into your community, and with the crunch time and all this stuff that you hear about in the gaming community, I guess you would want to build up goodwill with said community. But on the other hand, it's a business. You're there to produce sales. Like people aren't making video, or well, I'm sure some teams are making video games out the goodness of their heart. They're not really in it for the money, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them are in it for the money. They got people they got to talk to, investors and whatnot, who are looking for some type of dividends. So, hey, we bring on George R. R. Martin. I mean, we'll never know if how much of that 12 million units sold was off of his name alone, but I think they can all say this is a good idea. We
yeah, it
moved 12
definitely helped.
million units, so everything that we've done, I'm should be good because we haven't marked the game down yet. We've
Yeah,
already moved 12 million copies, so it's like, yeah, I think we made every right choice for this game.
yeah.
So it's
It's weird
hard
because it's
to
not like that's rampant in the gaming, like, community. It's not like people are always reaching out to, like, I guess, Hollywood writers, to
yeah.
come write for games. Like, this is
Oh no,
very rare for it to happen. So it's weird. It's like the backlash is like, oh my gosh, you're like getting rid of game people who write for games like as a profession only. It's like this is like a really one-off situation right now. But I don't
yeah.
know. Maybe they feel like if it did really good, then more companies or more developers would, you know, try to reach out to people who are known for writing, that type of stuff.
So that brings us in to the metaverse NFT world. So many game developers are getting into this NFT world heavily. FIFA is really trying to push NFTs, and I could only imagine what they would do in the event they get this launched. Because good God, those numbers are probably going to be ridiculous if FIFA puts out an NFT line. But do you think that NFTs in gaming, particularly, will like kind of withstand the test of time, or do you think it'll kind of like be a bit of a fad and then kind of go wherever its actual home is going to be?
I believe it will have its time. I guess I'll say it that way. Like I feel like it'll be uh like right now I guess NFTs are, obviously they're really big, mostly just due to the I can buy one and now it's worth way more money than what I bought it for. And hopefully I can either A hold it and it becomes worth even more money, or B I can just flip it right now, for way more money. But if they allow people the ability to do that, like if somehow NFTs were maybe weapons in games, maybe you get like a certain weapon, but then again, I don't know, you wouldn't really want to lock that to like one player or something like that. But if they give you the ability maybe to resell them some kind of way, maybe it'll be big. But other than that, then it kind of would just be like loot boxes. So I feel like the biggest part of NFTs is just your ability to sell them for more, or the possibility of selling them for more money than what you paid for them. Other than that, they really serve no purpose. Like that's really what makes them important to people is like, I got this, like if bored ape thing or whatever, or it's mutant ape and it's worth like 2.5 Ethereum or something like that. So it's like, if they weren't, I guess, worth that much money, then people wouldn't care about it. Even though there's really no way to stop people from using your stuff that you apparently own. Like, it's the weirdest thing, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I would say I think it'll come in its time because right now, like everyone's kind of just focused on the selling, kind of like Gaines said, but like the technology behind it, the whole decentralized network, you own this thing. Like to Gaines's analogy with the guns, you could have like, hey, there's 100,000 guns in this game, and you own one of them, and then you can do mods, which could be other things, and it's just decentralized and you just always have it. That's nice benefit. Obviously price would have to go down because that's the big problem now is anything you usually buy, especially like fees with Ethereum and stuff, because I can't remember, I think it's like $30 is the fee for Ethereum. I could be wrong, but it's kind of high just to even do all the stuff with the Lightning Network. But it's once that money goes down, I think it has a place. It's just figuring out that because like I know EA like Ultimate Team, that kind of makes some sense. You just own these cards. Obviously, that promotes the money part again, but I think when we get out that there's other cases that can come out of using the whole decentralized stuff where obviously you're not maintaining servers anymore to store all that. It's just on that network. So that helps developers and all. It's just we just pull your wallet and there's all your stuff. Like we don't have to worry about storing all that.
Yeah, I don't know enough about NFTs to kind of talk on it. I mean, what Madden, FIFA have already kind of started a similar
Yeah.
thing almost.
Imagine if you had the ability to actually resell those.
I would say like they started
Like,
it or not.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you
guess
can
started.
trying
technically
to
people sell
FIFA's
them
trying to
now for money.
negotiate how much they get from it with EA right now. Well, the FIFA team, they basically want more money off of their NFTs, and EA is like, nah. So they're like in this weird dispute right now. So I guess once they figure out a number, then I guess FIFA will fully launch their NFTs. But yeah, I'm really curious as what they'll do with that.
They'll
But
probably
like
tie it
Tyrell
into
gets the
the Ultimate
digital
Team
credit,
packs
or yeah,
Yeah.
that's
to
why I
where,
know a
like,
lot
you
of
get
people get
one
those digital
NFT in the
cards.
pack as well. And then if
Mhm.
they allow, like I said, if they allow you to actually just like resell them like easily, other than the way people resell cards now, like, you go to certain sites or PayPal each other. If you're somebody PayPal each other money, and then you put it on the broker for like a little certain amount of money and in coins, and then they just hurry up and go buy it like very low or whatever. But that would definitely, I mean, that market's already like whales and people who just dump tons of money into getting those cards. So if you add the ability for them to possibly make money, yeah, I could just see
Yeah.
them just even dumping even more money into the game.
With NFTs, I guess we always talk about loot boxes and microtransactions, DLC that have kind of had a positive slash negative effect. Do you think that NFTs will also have a? I mean, do you think it'll be kind of one way or the other, or I guess
Uh,
do you feel like they'll abandon game development off of? Oh, here's another pool of money that we could tap into. Just hey, don't roll out multiplayer just yet. Roll out them NFTs first, and we'll give a multiplayer in like 8 months from now after we focus on this aspect. Or do you think
well,
nah, they'll probably
I feel like it just depends on the game and the community of that game. Like we were talking about, like FIFA, like Ultimate Team. I believe it's called Ultimate Team in FIFA, but it's pretty much Ultimate Team, like in Madden and stuff like that. Like those two games, like buying cards to make your custom team or whatever, is like very accepted. It's like those are really the hugest parts of those games. Like people buy Madden to play MUT is what they call it. And same thing. I mean, we know JJ used to play FIFA like crazy, and it was all about freaking opening the packs and getting the cards and having the best team possible. Like that's what those two games pretty much have become. So I feel like introducing that into those games would obviously be accepted really well. Like especially if there's some kind of way maybe you can like Roger said, if there's only like maybe 5 freaking I don't know, I'm not good with we'll just say there's like 5 Patrick Mahomes in MUT or something, like 99 overall everything Patrick Mahomes in MUT, but there's 5 NFT versions of it. So only 5 people can kind of own that card, so to speak. People are definitely going to want that car, especially if you give them the ability to resell it, because as Roger said, they're probably going to set the price stupid high. And then people will buy it because they think, well, I can just flip it for more because no one will ever have one of these 5 cards because they're already been pulled, so to speak. So I feel like they'll work in those aspects, but maybe in other games that type of stuff, kind of like Destiny, like the Eververse. I feel like most people really don't fool with the Eververse much. It's there, but it's like they probably do make some money off of it, but I feel
No,
like most
they
people
make
look at.
quite a bit.
Oh,
They make
okay.
quite
So,
a bit.
so,
On them ornaments. Well, ornaments alone, I know they make quite a bit of money off of.
so
As
I
far
feel
as
like,
the other stuff in that reverse, I don't know.
yeah, I feel like it might just be part of it, but just kind of there. I don't know. I feel like it's more of a kind of come and go thing. Right now, it's really popular. It probably fade in a couple years or so. Something else will come along.
Yeah, I think if they incorporate it away from the money things, because I know we brought up cards, trading cards and all, because that's basically what most of the NFTs are that you hear of. But like you could do other things in events based stuff, like maybe you buy something in game that's like only a certain amount of people can hold this ticket for this event. So then there's 10,000 there and it could be NFT and you won't even know. You're just like, I have this, but underneath they're using some network and storing it. So I think there's other uses. It's just that's why I was like time. Right now it's just trading cards. So that's why you're hearing FIFA, which will go to Madden and
Yeah.
any other ones that come up. It's just I need to find a collectible thing people can trade because that's what everyone wants to buy right now. It's almost like the network doesn't even matter other than people know you own, well, quote unquote, you own that thing now. Um, so that's like the only network part it is. It's just everyone's going crazy because it's tied to crypto and they're trading.
Oh, that takes us into the Steam Deck. So the Steam Deck is rolled out and it seems to be getting relatively good views. Some games have banned its usage. Destiny, don't play Destiny with the Steam Deck, they'll ban you. But other than that, do you think that this will withstand the gamer test, or do you think it'll kind of be a fad? Basically, it's a portable PC for those who don't know, so it's kind of something you could take with you on the go. Is it capped at 720? I forgot to
It's a
even look.
little over.
Yeah,
It's a little,
it's
maybe
Okay.
like 800p at most.
it's an
It's like
odd one.
yeah, it's a slight. I think it's supposed to do 1080p whenever the Steam dock
Oh,
comes
when it's
out or whatever it's called.
okay.
There's no dock yet, but there's supposed to be a dock at some point in time. I think it's going to kind of upscale it to 1080p.
Yeah, I think most games will be. I think you could do 4K at some point if I remember right, but you're
On the
obviously
Steam
not.
dock,
Yeah,
I guess only if it must be
I
like
don't
for
remember all
really
the
low
specs.
quality games. Not quality, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, like small indie games, you can like make 4K or something, but like obviously you're not gonna play Destiny, or
yeah.
if you could play Destiny, you can't do that. So
1280 by 800.
okay, so all right.
Okay. But do you all think that it's going to kind of withstand this gamer test that it's about to go through? We don't have too many handhelds that I guess the
What?
Switch would be the only other thing that.
Nintendo is basically the main one that
Yeah,
held for
Yeah,
a
I guess
while.
that's who
Nintendo is
they're
pretty
running
much
up against. So, I
in a
mean, do y'all
way. I
think
don't even feel
they'll
like they're
kind of.
running up against Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo's always so weird with that. It's like they exist on their own plane of existence, and it's not meant to cross over in any
Yeah,
way, shape,
they don't
or
even
form.
try to like compete
It's
with other they know that they got, their ecosystem on lock, and their
Yeah.
ecosystem is very, very profitable. Like,
Eighth, you can't play
so
Mario anywhere else, so welcome.
yeah, they don't care. They don't care what other consoles you buy because they like, bro, they'll never touch Mario. They'll never sniff Link forever. Like,
That's true.
but I think, see, I don't really look at the Steam Deck as like for all gamers. Like, I feel like it's I feel like it's getting a lot of publicity, obviously, because of like not so much that it can even play games. Because honestly, to me, I look at them like, yeah, you're playing games, but you're playing them at like very, very low specifications. Like, if you want a solid frame rate, like if you want 60 FPS, you're probably playing on medium to low settings on almost everything, which honestly is not the best looking thing in the world. But I guess just the having the ability to do it somehow makes it very exciting. But I feel like it's going to be more so for PC people who kind of want to tinker with it and like tinkering with that type of stuff, to be like, you know, what if I could get this PC game to run on it at 60 FPS? Like, what would I have to tweak in order to make that happen? And they just really kind of enjoy stuff like that, and just the ability to like put Windows on it, and probably obviously people gonna put emulators on it. They're already talking about like emulation to run Switch games and things like that. Which if I was Valve, I would definitely be like, no, we don't intend for it to do that, because we all know Nintendo, and if they do try to like make it easy to put those type of things on it, like at least for Nintendo Switch anyway, I can see that being like a really big deal. But I don't think it's gonna be for the majority of gamers. Uh, I think it's gonna be more so for just PC people who kind of want a handheld thing to play on or just tinker with.
Yeah, I was say that's why I wanted one, just to mess with and install things. I think the big advantage is, again, it's for PC people with probably big Steam libraries, because now I got a handheld with all my games now. Like, I didn't have to rebuy them, which that's a big benefit. And that was another reason I wanted one, because a lot, like, I play them free games every month with Prime Gaming. Most of those games are controllers. Like, there ain't many that's keyboard and mouse, and some of them are like, I don't want to set a computer and play, and they're light. Where like if I had something like that, I think the game would be a little bit better, because a lot of them are like side scrollers. Like, I wouldn't mind having it on a handheld versus playing on my monitor stuff. So I think that move is there. But yeah, if you have a Steam library, it makes sense, but not everyone has a Steam library that's huge. So that and the tinkering thing, because it's a niche crowd that's like, how can I make I'll pick on Destiny if it was fine, but like, how can I make that run on this little device with low specs and run fine? Like, a lot of people like doing it. I like messing with that a little bit, not as crazy as some people, but it is fun to do. But yeah, it's a small crowd, so I don't see it competing with any of like Nintendo.
Yeah, well, so I think that's basically all it's for, is just for random people that just want to have fun with it. Or like how Roger said, he has a huge Steam library. He wants to take it around somewhere. Outside of that, I don't see no reason. People, I guess, just normal. I'd be like, yeah, I kind of want that. Let me go get that. You
Yeah,
have a Switch.
I don't have any reason to go get it. Yeah, and like Roger said, like if you aren't a PC gamer, which means you probably have 0 games on Steam, why are you going to buy that? Because you already have a console. So it's like, okay, so I'm going to buy this and run games at a way lower quality than what I play on console at home, just to be able to, and I have to rebuy the game on top of that just to play it. So it's really like only for PC gamers.
A computer companion console. That's what it's like.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, would you like to play your games on the go? Here, just buy this and all your games transfer right to it. Like, did
Because
you
I
already
think
own it?
I got like 600, 700 games on Steam. I had to re-sign in,
Okay.
so I didn't look. So like, that's where the benefit comes in for me. But I know that's a odd. Well, I don't know the percentage there, but yeah, I'm a PC gamer, so that helps. Like Gain said, a console, it kind of cuts it out. Where now it's like, I'd rather just buy the Switch and play Mario. Like, if I have to
Yeah,
rebuy a game, I'll buy stuff I can't buy.
yeah. Or I mean, if you like, kind of like you said, like there's times you don't want to sit at the computer when you're at home, you could like just play on the Steam Deck, like maybe on your couch or somewhere in the house or something. I mean, you can if you're a console gamer, you can already do that. You just do remote play.
Well, you can do
Like,
that now with Steam Link. A lot of TVs have that built in.
oh, okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it kind of even if you're a console gamer and you're like, oh, I kind of wanted to play on the go, like you can just do remote play. Like
I
now,
think
outside of
this.
your network, it doesn't work all that great for PlayStation and for Xbox. But if you're at home on your own Wi-Fi, it works really, really well.
Yeah, this came out like maybe years ago. Probably would have had a lot more steam than it does now. But
God,
yeah,
good one, Terry. Good one.
I'm good there. I get that. But I think right now there's just no point. Why would you get it besides just randomly like, oh, you know what? I think I can make a Nintendo game run on this. Not that
So
that's gonna
It's
happen.
one of the biggest things is just emulation.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
obviously, the device is wide open to put emulators on. Like, everyone knows that. And that's why when you see, like, the YouTube reviews of it, they were like, "They got GameCube running on this thing, and they got Dreamcast games running on it," because everyone knows people who buy that is gonna look to just throw emulators all on it, play PS2 games, Xbox games, and just throw whole libraries on SD cards,
And that's a
you know,
weird
to do that.
marketing thing to get
That's why
associated with.
and Valve knows that people are gonna do that, but they can't say do it, but they're obviously making it extremely easy to get those things on it because they know that's that crowd.
Well, you have a computer. Like, it's not hard to
Yeah.
do all that with just a
Yeah.
computer.
One thing I will say, and I'll get y'all's opinion on it or what you think of it. It's weird, like, because when you play the Steam Deck and what I've seen from reviews is like, say they play a game like Elden Ring or something. Like that game ends up running at 30 FPS, like on pretty low specs, just to get a solid frame rate. They're going to drop it down to 30. The resolution is really not there because you're running at low specifications on the game anyway. What's the difference between that and playing games that get ported to the Switch and people trash them for only being 30 FPS and the resolution's trash? What's the difference?
It's on the Switch.
Oh, okay. I just always wondered. I
Nintendo
always sitting there, I'm
made
like,
it.
why are people so happy that they can play at
It's brand.
720p and play 30 FPS these big PC games on the lowest possible settings to make this happen? But yet people trash the ports to the Switch that pretty much are doing the same damn thing.
It's
'Cause
brand and
some of
what
the
I
ports-
mentioned with the
some of the
Steam
ports-
like link, because when you buy the game Elden Ring, okay, I play at 720, but I can still play it at 4K because I bought that one price.
Okay,
So,
I mean,
like,
it just was
I can
weird because
kinda, like
it's just people talk about the Steam Deck like it plays it so amazingly, and I'm like, it's not that far off from this. Now you might be able to play certain games on it that's not on Switch at all, like Elden Ring, but the games that's on that and on the Switch, they're not playing too much differently, unless
And
it's like a lower quality game that you can bump up to like 60 or higher. You know, that's obviously a plus.
I think it depends on the game too a lot, but I just think you just have people that want it to do well, so they're positive of that whole like I play Elden Ring portable. Maybe that's what they're kind of angling at now versus when it's on the Switch. It's like, oh, I can't even do 4K. Why would I buy a Switch and buy the game?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you
like I
kinda have
can't play
already
this under 160 frames per second. This is trash. It's like, wait, Steam, Valve made this? 30 FPS is fine. I mean, you think about what we're working with here. It's an amazing
because
experience.
Steam is not a AAA developer
It touched
producer
45
people.
FPS when I went through this one loading area. It's
You're
it's
being
crazy what
too
they do with
harsh
this.
on a
I'm
single
just saying,
developer.
it just seems like it's tons of positive reviews. That's weird to me. Nothing is ever that positive.
Nintendo is $1 billion company. Steam, only 1 million.
Built on the back of Mario and Link.
Yeah, I know some of the ports that happen also get changed dramatically. I feel like that's where it's like I know when they ported over Call of Duty, I know it was like tremendously different. Or what was it? 2K? They also try to port over.
I
It's
played
not-
the 2K for the
it's
Switch.
different.
Yeah,
Apparently,
the
like
2K was like 1K when it came over. That joint was way.
I'll give
really
it
bad.
credit.
It was bad.
I
There's
bought the
no
NBA
credit.
one. It was $2. That's the only reason I bought it. It was like some sale.
That should tell you everything you need to
That's
know.
But the bad part was, it was not as bad as people made me, because everybody trashed it, and I played it, and I'm like, I could kind of play this. But then again, I'm not a big NBA, like
Kinda.
2K player,
Kinda.
where I'm trying to play online.
Okay, Mr. 90 overall point guard over there.
Oh, so Roger been putting in time on the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's where kind of the Switch starts to bleed over, although it's not supposed to. It's like, oh, well, some of these games will come over to it that exists on the Xbox and the PlayStation. It's like, oh, why doesn't it run this way? I feel like that's why they stopped putting Call of Duties over there and some of the other games. They're like, all right, we're tired of getting tied to those two consoles in this weird way, so let's just get rid of them even being over
I remember
here.
Apex too. That was
No,
Yeah, Apex,
please,
yeah.
no. We're not going to talk about
Fortnite do
that.
it too.
That's even worse.
Yeah,
We're not
bro.
talking about either one of these.
But yeah, I
Both
feel like
terrible.
that's why they kind of ultimately just like, hey, just stop bringing these over because we keep getting tied to what they play like elsewhere, and we keep just getting slammed for it. Now maybe the Steam Deck plays them the same, but again, it's new. It's kind of that new shiny toy, and I guess maybe when people get used to it, they'll start trashing it. But also, it's much like how Roger gets pissed off when they talk about load times.
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, God damn it, these people need damn load times. I've had this. I've had my SSD. I was loading in 0.3 seconds.
Well,
They
people
get
give
in
it
like,
better reviews because of it. Like it's like a weird like plus now, and I'm like, I feel like SSD just makes it so much easier, and it's a weird thing because it's like, man, when I played on PS4, I had to wait 2 minutes to get here. Now it's 20 seconds. So now, 100 like score now because it's so
Better
fast.
game now.
I'm
That
just-
made the
Notice.
game better, Roger.
No longer sitting at a low screen for 5 minutes. While y'all
Yeah.
loading in, I'm still playing the game. I'm enjoying myself.
But yeah, I feel like that's why kind of the Switch gets its little bad rep for some of those games versus the Steam Deck. And again, maybe the Steam Deck will catch it at some point, but I guess time will tell.
I would like to know what
But
the sales are, the numbers.
they're probably terrible.
No, they say it sells out. Like
Oh, they
it's,
say
but
yeah,
it's
I
it's,
must
good?
say
but that's the
Is that because of
old
the chip shortage?
asterisk. But that's the
Yeah.
asterisk. You don't know, like just because they say something sold out, it's like, well, how many were you able to actually make?
20.
Because that
Yeah.
that really drives the word sold out. Like if you only made 100,000, it's like, oh, Nintendo
People
like
ain't.
sells that in a weekend. Like so
I would say people don't have theirs coming in until like the third quarter for the Steam Deck. People are saying.
Damn.
I don't see any numbers. The only thing they put
Yeah,
out
you
was
won't.
pre-order numbers.
if you don't see numbers, that's all you need to
Yeah,
know.
what's the pre-order number?
110,000.
Okay. It's not terrible for
And I don't know if that's like
For
a
that.
legit like.
I know they
what was they
stopped
going
taking
for?
pre-orders.
How much did they go for? Was it like 250 for
It
the low
varies.
model? Or?
500, I
I
think.
think I think the
Oh,
lowest
5.
model was like $400.
Oh,
And I think
damn.
it went all the way up to like 6 something, I
I
think, for the
thought it was.
highest end model, or
I was saying,
7.
I know it got close to 1,000. I can't remember what it
400,
was.
400 is for the 64 gig, 530 for the 650, 512.
And I think the lowest one
Damn.
is a different
Yep.
has different memory or something, right? It doesn't have the NVMe stick in it.
That's why I didn't get it because I was going to get the cheaper one, but then I saw it was different.
Yeah, so I don't think it's supposed to be as fast either. So it's like pretty much
Different
you either
ones.
want at least the
One of the two
256.
higher. Yeah.
Yeah, 64 is using the EMMC.
So you would at least want the 256 one. Xbox Cloud Gaming also supports the Steam Deck apparently now through
Yeah.
Microsoft Edge, which means it doesn't support it because no one's going to open Edge for that.
I will. That's what I
They're
was
just
going
making a
to.
comeback.
I guess that leads us to our final topic for the day, which is, with the Steam Deck, there is some format of innovation, sort of, kind of. But going forward here, seems we've hit a good moment in gaming all around. Is there anything that you haven't seen that you hope to see that will kind of evolve this whole community game wise? Something, whether it's even better load times. What is it that you want to see going forward? Roger hated that comment wholeheartedly. Uh,
All right, there, Roger. You okay?
I say, I guess I'll go since we had silent.
well,
I do hope cloud gaming picks up more, but the problem is internet infrastructure around the
You know
US.
how hard Keith slammed that glass when you
Yeah.
said that?
But I know Gaines and I talk about it. I do hope consoles do like a thin client thing at some point, and everyone can kind of do the cloud gaming. And I think it has a lot of benefits. But like I said, it's hard because it's not just on the console; it's like internet providers is kind of the problem, and the internet infrastructure to handle all that. But I hope the support for cloud gaming because the Xbox and PlayStation 1 are like add-ons and don't do too great, where like the Stadia Gains plays GeForce Now, which I haven't messed with in a long time, but those are like actually pretty good. So it's like I hope consoles improve it and just kind of big into console and eventually get to like thin clients where then you're not paying 500, 600 for a console.
Yeah, GeForce Now is good. Speaking about the Steam Deck one,
Hold on.
What?
What the hell is this comment? Do you guys ever talk about girls from 100% True? I'm pretty sure this is a bot.
From 100% True.
That's the name of the person. I don't know.
Oh, it's from that person.
it's
I
a
thought you meant it
comment.
was from, like some site called 100% True. I'm like, is that like verifying they're actually females or something?
Do you ever talk about girls in a gaming podcast?
Roger does all the time.
No.
It happens a lot.
He's a super freak.
Oh, yes. We have a married person here that talks about his wife. That's
yeah. We have
two
And
married
my
people.
daughter has woke up. Y'all continue on. I gotta go get my daughter.
Okay.
Comment. What the hell is that kind of comment?
Harry, what do you want to see in the next console?
Pokemon. Pokemon. A lot of Sword Art Online aspects of games. No, I don't
Let's
know.
just go to Keith.
It's hard to say because I mean, like, what else do you add? Like, I guess virtual reality and AR is kind of like becoming the next thing that everybody's kind of been, I guess, necessarily like dealing with, but more of experimenting with.
I wish AR would be more used because I know like you had the HoloLens from Microsoft.
Yeah, but it's about to say it's a tough thing to develop for, but I think that's probably the next thing people are trying to get incorporate into maybe gaming. Now a lot of places have been using it, but I mean if we get to the Sword Art Online kind of aspect of things, I'd be happy, but I don't see that.
Make it
I think
cheaper.
the last AR stuff I was looking at kind of required a lot on your end in terms of hardware and all that. So I feel like that's why there's nothing, for lack of better terms, there's no like sexy AR headset thing that looks very good and doesn't require a lot of plugins and whatnot. So I feel
don't think
like
this
that's the
VR
hold up
looks
with
great?
AR. VR also is like weird to me. Is like, damn, I'm shocked. Like a lot of people kind of go for it because there's all these like, you shouldn't play it for more than 2 hours.
Yeah, we shouldn't
it
play for long.
Or is it less time?
It's less
But yeah.
usually. A lot of
it's
times
less.
I even
Okay,
seen
yeah.
half hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. It's like, like you shouldn't play this. Like, I know my stepmom couldn't use it at all. Like she can't watch 3D movies. So I know there are some people who end up finding out, like in a real bad way, that their brains actually can't even like withstand that whole like just whatever it does to their brains. So I feel like VR is just a weird thing to me. I'm shocked it's still.
I think AR
going.
would be nice.
But
if
AR
you
would
made,
be really cool.
If you made like sunglasses, because that expand, like even the basic AR that I liked when I saw the HoloLens was just expanding the screen. So you could have your screen as just the game, and onto the side could be your HUD of like your ammo over here and all the little stats of your inventory, and then you can have a better view of everything.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it could be interesting. I don't think it's going to happen anytime within the next 2 to 3 years. It seems like that's like maybe 5 to 10 years away for actual like incorporation into a console where it's like, hey, I want to play Call of Duty or something. Let's grab the headset. Let's get let's get all the accessories that go with it. Let's play, and it actually is playable. So I guess maybe that might be the next thing I kind of expect to end up seeing, or because we all want a Sword Art Online kind of aspect before we all leave this.
I don't.
I do.
Oh, let me be clear. I do not. Okay.
I am
That shit
talking
sounds
about.
scary.
I'm talking
Okay.
about we're allowed to log out. Okay, Keith. We're not trapped for 3
Yeah,
years.
I hear what you're saying.
Harry wants
But
to make an avatar and live a
anime
second life.
specifically said, if you log out, you die. No, I
Oh
want
no, I
nothing
don't
to
want
do
that
with
part.
anything Sword Art Night. Like, all right.
But it seems like
Please
it could be an interesting concept to end up having eventually at some point in time.
It would be cool. I'll watch other people do it. It might be the only thing I ever really use Twitch for. Like I use Twitch here and there, but now if like a Sword Art thing where someone has some nerve gear for real, I might actually watch that if someone was able to stream it. I'm like, yo, this dude's fucking nuts.
That made you
Like, this
sound
guy's
psycho
crazy.
watching it.
It did.
It would be. I would watch.
Is he going to die today? That's what
Is this man going to live through the day, or is he going to get knocked out by this slime that's crossed the way? Let's find out. Just watching and turning and be like,
I would truly watch that. And then what the one person in Sword Art had their like pain receptors accidentally turned on and died from the shock or whatever. Yeah, no,
look, nobody's asking you to talk about the
other
negativity
people do
portion. We're talking about the positivity.
So Keith, what's your next console you want since you're not for VR AR?
I mean, well, just evolution wise, I don't know. It's really hard to say. Like Terry says, like what more could you like? I posted that what that do? It was a Lush Foil photo sim or whatever. How crazy! I know you're like, oh, you into those sims now, but I was like, it just looks nuts.
No, those are tech demos. So a lot of Unreal. I always watch Water. Like I like the demos of Water because Water is a hard thing to get fluent.
Yes, it is the worst thing in most games,
and it takes a lot of processing power. So a lot of them. That's why I say tech demos because like there it's on a rail, and you can see the power of the engine. But obviously, when you start getting games involved in it, you'll see like this is what the engine could do, and then you get an Unreal 4 game, for example, that you see, and it's like, oh, that was nothing compared to what I saw there. So it's cool. I like watching them. The Matrix is a good one. Like that was very small. It showed what the new engine can do at the Matrix game. I don't know if it was on anything else in the PlayStation. I just remember it on there.
Yeah.
But they were trying to show elements of what you could do in a game. So that's what I was getting at.
I forget jiggle physics.
Oh Lord.
Oh God.
All right,
you must have been on the DOA forum.
No, I don't.
That's all they talk about. Them stupid Dead or Alive.
Yeah,
the Dead or Alive fighting games. No, that's I think they had the beach volleyball Dead or Alive mode or whatever, and then they took it out and people were pissed because
it was a whole
you
game.
Couldn't play beach volleyball. I think they ended up turning it into a whole game, but at first it was a mini game within Dead or Alive, and they had the jiggle physics, and that's where everyone only played the stupid beach volleyball in DOA. And it was like, oh my gosh. But
basically why Keith enjoys Tifa. All right, Keith, and to the next one.
Those people enjoy that. But that'll take us into the end. Our game recommendations. So, I guess I'll start. Mine is actually a free game on PlayStation Plus if you have it right now. It's called Ghost Runner. And I wish Games was here for my reference. But there's a game I used to play called Wet. It was like Kill Bill, but on roids, basically.
I remember that game.
It was a really stupid game, but I enjoyed it wholeheartedly. Ghost Runner reminds me of that a little bit, but it does have some you will have to use your brain. Like Wet was mindless for me. I could just go in and just shoot people. It was a very mindless, high action game. This is high action. You can do really cool stuff. It does require some type of brain power though, so just go into it with that. A lot of parkour type elements and whatnot. So Ghost Runner is free on the PlayStation right now if you have PS Plus, and it's a really great game if you like swords. So swords and running.
I still want to play it because it reminded me of Mirror's Edge, the parkour part. Obviously not.
Yeah, Mirror's Edge. That's actually, I can't remember if that's the team that made Mirror's Edge. Damn it.
Gaines, what's your game? Okay, thank you, Gaines. I'll continue with the free theme. So Prime Gaming had a pretty cool game called Steam World Quest, a hand of Gilgamesh. I'm pretty sure I said it wrong, but that's a cool game. I like a game called Slay the Spire, which is a card fighting game. You go through 3 acts and just fight bosses. This is an RPG that's a card fighting. Don't get too excited. It's not in depth like a normal trading card game. It's like a light one, but it's still cool to play that. You have to pick like 3 cards. The attacks happen, the opponents attack you, and it just keeps going. So they done it really well. The game looks pretty good, and I've been enjoying that. And that's free on the Prime Gaming. So if you have a Prime membership, you can get that for free this month.
Oh, it's my turn? Oh, I got you.
Unless
I
you
don't
want to
got a
wait for
game.
Gaines' turn again.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just go buy Witch Queen for Destiny 2. That's all I've been playing. I don't have a game. I don't like play random ass games. I kind of have my specific games. So Destiny 2, Witch Queen. It's actually been fun. One day I'll be able to run the raid. I don't know when that day will be, but one day I'll be able to do it. But there you go.
We'll put
That's my
asterisks on you saying one day you'll run the raid, but
Roger. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. Okay. So.
As a youngin say, cap above your head.
That's the youngins. He says that. Wow. All right. I think that's about it.
The young ones say is cap. All right.
There you go. Destiny 2 Witch Queen. Or you know what? Master Duel. There you go. That's free. Master Duel's free.
You already recommended that last time.
Yeah, I know, but you told me I had to recommend a game. I have Destiny 2 Witch Queen, Master Duel, and RuneScape is my rotation. There's nothing else. Harry Potter's at the end of the year, by the way. The same time that Pokemon comes out, so there's that. Can't wait.
How do you feel about the stiffness of when you're casting?
When you're casting? I mean, it makes it look like the movie right now. So. Hopefully by the time they actually... right now, it looks... The combat system looked pretty bad. I mean, there's not really much that ended up happening in the movie. There wasn't like a lot of fluent kind of like all this. I don't have a wand. I have a bullet that can end up like a wand, sure. But like the casting looked like it needs a lot more work. But just the fact that they're actually making in a Harry Potter RPG that hasn't been made. Old Harry Potter games. Remember when those games came out?
Didn't those like tank out?
Those were just movie games, though, weren't they?
I think they were just movie games.
I thought those like tanked out real bad.
It did. I haven't played since then.
Okay.
So, I mean, for the fact that they're actually, I have no idea what possessed Sony to be like, let's make a Harry Potter game now, like an RPG for it. So,
I don't know. It might be better timing. I mean, you got Elden Ring pulled out from.
But this isn't meant to be like a hard game. Like I don't.
Oh, no,
I'm pretty sure
that. It's just the theme. Like you're bringing back a lot of these novel things, and they do real well. So I mean, I know probably people are excited to have a full Harry Potter game.
It's going to be interesting. I just don't know what in the world possessed them to be like today on this day we're going to do Harry Potter RPG. It's just
probably
weird.
Been in the works for a minute.
It probably
one of those things that has been in the works, and they were like, you know what, we've come too far. We got to show something. So just like Knights of the Old Republic making this comeback, they're supposed to be doing a full WoW, like a soft relaunch or whatever for WoW. Supposedly, that's supposed to be in the works. But with people walking out and all that, it's making it difficult from the reports. But a lot of things supposedly are supposed to be getting these kind of revamps and reemergence, and then you got what's the new Harry Potter series or Magical Beasts?
I'm on Magical Beasts.
So you kind of got that running kind of alongside, so it kind of helps. It's keeping it kind of within the realm of hey, Harry Potter game, and also we got the new Magical Beast movie coming out.
Interactive entertainment now, Terry. That's the key word.
Yeah,
that's like he said.
I just don't know what is your story based off of. Are we doing 7 years? Or are we doing 1 year? What happens after your 7th year? Do you become whatever? It's just so many unanswered questions that just I don't know how to feel about it. But I'm gonna buy it though. I'm going to play it. I've already been coerced into it.
Everything that's wrong with it, but they have my money.
It's a Harry Potter game. I grew up reading the books. Like I used to read everything.
To our point, that is why the game is coming out.
That probably is
a Harry Potter game.
That is, but it comes out at the same time as Pokemon, though. The new Pokemon. So there's that. Oh,
You'll make time.
I don't know if I will. Because then also we got the next season of Destiny happening around that time. It's just so many things happen around that Christmas, November time
That's what
frame.
we'll talk about in the next podcast. I saw something interesting about that. There was Sifu, Horizon, Elden Ring, Shadow Warrior 3, and Tokyo Ghostwire comes out pretty soon, but people complaining about the release date, so I had that tab just as something potentially interesting to talk about if games are semi-predatory on people's pockets. But that is for another time frame.
All right, that's about it.
But
Let's go ahead and
James
wrap this up.
Yes, James Gaines is down for the count. Well, we'll have him recommend 2 games next time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he'll have to answer that last question or not on the next one. But thank you all for tuning in to this latest podcast from us. We'll have a lot more going on. I will manifest the Super Mario Party Superstars game that never got to happen. It will happen. It's going to happen. I'll manifest it. And once again, Luigi will remain on. Yoshi has a win to his name too. But we don't really count that. But Yoshi has a win to his name. All right. So, but with that being said, stay tuned. We'll have a lot more stuff going down. Just hit that subscription button and notification button to see when it goes down. All right. Pretty soon I'll have a Tokyo Ghostwire review up. So be on the lookout for that. And as usual, peace, be easy, be blessed.
And that ends that. And there goes the ending screen. Yes.